I waved him.
Did you wave back at you?
No. He's almost got up and talked to Grandma.
He's seen you.
I moved all the commercials out of about an hour and a half.
Well, I would have done the hour.
Thank you very much, Mike, and Dorothy is along with us. Good morning, Dorothy.
Good morning.
Good morning. An overcast morning, and the parade is just coming by us right now, and led by the police department. And of course, there is our Tom Mahoney, the Grand Marshal, weatherman for Channel 5 starting off. And if it would have rained, I think he would have been in trouble. So there he comes on down right now. So this is the way we start out our parade for the 4th annual parade downtown Oconto for Old Copper Festival. And there it goes on by. You're going to have to help me. This will be, yeah, I used to be a teacher here at Oconto, and of course used to be a student of mine down in DeKalb at one time too. The AMVETs with their flags leading the parade, and Comtrepanier and quite a few of the others. I don't see all the particular people as we go on through. They don't have a listing for it. Here's the 1985 Copper Queen, Dorothy, and that is, oh, that isn't her yet. That should be coming up. We're still into the AMVETs and the veterans organizations and their cars. Veterans benefits. And all of these cars coming by. Here's the DAV service officer. We got about, and we're trying to take an estimate of people, a good 3,000 people watching just in our viewing area right here for where we're sitting. Here comes Laurie Brabant, the Copper Festival Queen for 1985. We saw her on television just the other day.
I guess they were making mention about this parade on Good Morning America
Could very
yesterday. One of the channels, and they had hoped that we wouldn't have. They guaranteed us no rain today.
Say hello, Laurie. She's shaking her head no. She made a pretty queen. Makes a pretty queen. What do we got coming here, Dorothy? Coming up ahead. All these guys in skirts.
Bagpipe band.
Yeah, okay. It's the Beja, B-E-J-A?
Yeah, Highlanders.
Highlanders Bagpipe Band. They're part of the Shriners organization. They come through here. I hope they strike up a tune because we'll pick them up. They'll probably not do that as they come by us, right?
I hear you.
Okay, they're coming up in all directed. I wonder where they're all from. Never played a bagpipe before. Can you describe their outfits? It's kind of like white shirts and nice plaid skirts. They're called kilts, though. Okay, come on, we're going to strike up the band, I think, here. See if we can get them to play something. Get by us before they even play anything.
Took that long to get them all.
Got it anyway. Okay, now we've got some political floats coming along. We're going to get the rest of the Shriners, I'm sure, later as we go through. We've got Glenn Garvey, the mayor of Oconto, as he goes by. You can listen to him wave. And Senator Jerome Van Sistine. He's not in his car. He's walking alongside of it. Right. He's.
They all are.
Right. Jerry Smith, the state treasurer, part of this. Hello, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Charlie Smith is riding along, though. He's not going to walk.
Wave. Oh, look at these coming.
Paul Willems. Coming after Paul Willems should be,
I don't know.
okay, they're out of order here because this is Cindy Zeisky, and she's going to walk along too. And Dick Matty. He's walking. See, he's not on our list either.
Toby Roth is.
Toby
though.
Roth is, and he's not there. Here we go at the
maybe
1984
he's
Copper
down
Queen Festival. This is Laurie Zahn. I thought there was only about 3 of these, but they tell me there's 4 of them.
No, this is the fourth parade.
This is the 4th, so there were 3 before this. Okay. Now, we got to go back up here because this is the Rolling Calliope or whatever it is, or it's part of the Twin City Shrine Club. Give a listen.
I like
Are these those little rolling cycles? Look at these. I've never seen this before.
What?
They just, goodness gracious. They're little cars with maybe about 3-inch wheels on them. There's 4 of them. He's got a little trouble. His engine quit. And there can't be more than about 4 inches off the ground. And they just whiz all around with these things.
And they're hand controlled. They don't steer them.
I've never seen anything like these, Dorothy. They're red, little gasoline engines in them, and they roll all over the place. Behind them are the cycles for the Shriners. Those are neat. They have little hand controls. They're red. They've got like a flag on top of a white antenna, and they just follow each other. They almost look like they're flying saucers, and they're sitting on these things, just zipping up and down the streets with them, and they go in formation too.
You want to one of the kids?
The kids are gonna all want one of those. Mommy, buy me one. The outfits they're on, they have like,
Look at the square tracks
yeah, they just wear them around. They're in white coveralls. They have a red hat and a white turtleneck sweater underneath the white coveralls, and they just zip around, and out comes the cycles. Little mopeds. And there's, there must, on those other things, there must have been about a dozen, and there's got to be another dozen mopeds, and they're following behind. They all have little sprees by Honda. And they were in formation, but they're all following along now. Okay, the Shriners with their little cycles and that. Who's this?
A bear.
I can't bear it. He's just tall, all brown, little dicky on and wearing, coming along by the kids, followed by a clown, and a clown just about got run over. Bye! Another little Shriner's outfit. This is a blue, it looks like a little blue racing car.
Oh,
And
this is what you need, Walt.
along with him is a Shriner on a bicycle, and he has a big wheel on the back and an itty-bitty wheel on the top, and he sits maybe about a good 8 to 10 foot off the ground, Michael, if you can even get an idea of what that is. And he's riding this thing around, and comes back. The motorbikes now, they came back around and back up and down. Here comes the little racer driven by a clown again.
Watch go.
And he, yeah. They have quite a show, Dorothy.
Yes, they do.
How'd you like to ride one of those bicycles?
No, thank you.
It would have been great in the flood.
Only the front half would have worked.
Yeah. As kids, we took 2 bicycles apart one time and put them together as a 3-wheeled bicycle. Hey, there you go. Okay, Lieutenant Governor Hefner. I don't think he's on our list either, Dorothy. I've lost track of where we're even at.
No, they're not even in.
Some of these are not even on our list at all, but that's all right as we go along. Following this, sponsored by Thompson's Food, Liquor, Gas, and Car Wash. And they have a whole grouping of kids on bicycles. I don't think that's on there either.
She's talented.
Yeah.
2 hands at once.
And they have candy, of course, for the kids as they go on by. Darwin Electric, pulled by a big light bulb, and it's pulled by a John Deere.
The 2 bicycles crashed back.
It says Pioneers of Lightning. Is that what it says? And a whole grouping of kids with bicycles, all dressed.
Beach
And
bums.
Beach bum. Beach bums. Okay. All right. What have we got next, Dorothy?
All the little ones. Lord,
Boy, you guess as good as I am. I've lost track of this list anymore.
I would say this is Head
Head Start? Old Copper Festival, but they don't have a name on. They have two elephants.
A mama elephant and a baby elephant. Little one waving at you.
There's a little boy and a big elephant and a little baby drinking some milk in a little elephant.
Oh, look at here. Rub-a-dub-dub.
They have a tub, an old-fashioned wash tub, a big one, and 3 kids inside of it being pulled along, called Rub-a-dub-dub. Okay. Well, I had a funny feeling this was going to happen, Dorothy.
Well, we're kind of back into order now. Here comes Cindy.
Okay. And that's where?
Right here. She's the 83.
Okay. Well, just inserted a few extra floats and things in that parade. It doesn't make any difference, though. The people are enjoying it, and we're trying to get some sort of a description for those of you who aren't able to make it down here. And this is Cindy Grohl, the 1983 Copper Queen, coming through in parade.
Okay, see, here's Head Start coming now.
And here comes Head Start right after it. Okay, so they're just out of order slightly, but that's okay. And you want to describe who's on Head Start? Who's playing the guitar?
Oh, come on, I can't tell you.
This is the Head Start group right now, some of the kids from Head Start, which meet over at St. Peter's Hall during the school days, and they're all singing.
Jeannie Bickle.
Uh-huh. Jeannie Bickle leading with guitar. Try to get the kids all to sing.
This is the Amvets.
And the Amvets, okay. Amvets Post 63 of Oconto, and they have a float that has the American flag in the center, decked on both sides by the Statue of Liberty, and flags of all nations all around the float. They have music on the float. There's like grass and flowers and that going all around it. And it says, the new Colossus. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled, your masses yearning to breathe free. Welcome to Copper Culture Days, the Indian Arrowhead Days. And Christofferson, right?
Yeah.
Oconto Catholic Churches.
And Tam.
And Tam too, and Tammy too. This is St. Peter's and St. Joseph's together, and they have salvation. And they have it would be a figure of Christ and the cross right behind it, all decked out. Oconto Catholic Churches. S&L Trucking and the little Suzuki. Here we go with a band.
I don't know where it's from, though. Is it kind of high school?
Yes,
The
and junior high.
I like that.
Okay, they did a performance for us, Dorothy, right here. That should have been the junior high school band and the high school band put together for the Copper Culture Festival, and they did a great job.
Sensibly for a change.
Yeah.
Shorts and tops.
Shorts and tops, Hawaiian tops too.
All colors.
Yeah.
Neat.
All different colors for sure.
Anything's better than those hot uniforms today.
Yeah,
They have their time and their place, and not today.
Not too bad outside today, though. It's overcast, definitely, and a little breezy, which takes care of the problem of being too hot, you know? Okay, what have we got now, Dorothy? You're keeping track.
Linda
This is
Belangi.
Okay, in an old, what is it? Bernie, what kind of car is that?
I wouldn't know.
Bernie Metzler alongside of me, and he couldn't recognize either. Okay. All righty.
This is her.
Okay, Linda Pressel Belangi. This
That's
is all
her
in
kids,
political,
her
right?
children behind
Okay. Laurie Sullivan, Queen candidate. I asked Jerry Finn who's the Queen, who's going to be the Queen for this year, and he just stopped short of saying. Then he said he didn't know. This is Laurie Sullivan, Queen candidate, and that's a balloon guy. He's selling balloons along the way. Okay, there's another balloon guy over there too. They're
right.
selling balloons and flags and everything else, souvenirs. Okay, elect Robert Bob Byram, Sheriff for Oconto County. And a little political float going by, and why not?
Clerk of courts is Linda Mortier.
Lynn Mortier on there, on the back of it. Okay. Somebody said, why didn't WOCO have a float? We got everybody working. Queen candidate, Lisa Longsign. And she's pretty too. I'd have a hard time picking Queen candidates. They all look so pretty. We'll find out though by about 12:30 this afternoon, because we're going to broadcast from out at the Copper Festival Park. And we're going to find out. Garden Fresh. And we have a float here with all kinds of balloons. Everybody's dressed up as different things. There's eggs on there and whatever it might be. What does that say? Chef salad. Chef salad. Okay. I don't know where they're from, Dorothy.
Hardee's.
There's nothing on there that says where they were from. Hardee's? Okay. This has got to be Bake's little car. 1901 Olds, Bake Brothers. That was from Hardee's?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sure, and of course they're with their Garden Fresh. All right, this is the Oconto Lions Club, and they're there in a little golf cart, and they have a clown there giving out candies, and kids as well at the same time. Behind that we have, I'm guessing this is from Dahl, I don't know that for sure either. Dahl Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, Oconto Service Center, and they're hauling a car that they've been working on in the back of a truck. And behind that is Brothers 3 for Hungry People's float. Remember, you can get a free pitcher of soda when you ask for it. Mention it from WOCO with a large pizza. How about that? Tacos, subs, and everything else, as they have a picture of a pizza on the back of their float.
It does look like pepperoni, really.
It really does look like pepperoni, right? It's making me hungry. Oconto High School Auto Service, class of '86. Sounds like they need a muffler, Doris. Oconto High School Auto Service, class of '86. They have a car and a truck going on by. Clavicus in the back of the car there. Oconto High School, some more vehicles. Oconto High School Auto Service. Well, if they got those cars to work, Dorothy, it must be all right.
Right.
This will be the Sheboygan Youth Band coming up. And
Good.
is that the one that's... is that the one that's going to be out at the Copper Festival Park?
I don't know.
Okay. It is. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. That's the youth band?
Yes. They're way out of line somewhere there. Give a listen. Maybe they'll strike up something as we go on by.
They're a good band.
They're dressed in black and yellow. They have like a cross a sash in yellow with flags to begin with. Alrighty, give a listen. Sheboygan Youth Band from Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Bass drum's bigger than the little boy playing it.
And Michael says they are the ones that will be out at the Copper Festival grounds. I thought they were.
They were there last year.
Right. Marinette Oconto, Honeybee Association. Honey Queen Carol Kapke. Marinette Yemeno Honeybee Association. And she's got stuff for the kids as well, too. Is she throwing kisses, Dorothy?
Candy kisses.
Candy kisses. Well, what do we can say? And she's decorated in yellow, and they have like a beehive, and the float has yellow and green and flowers all over it. And the queen bee and the little bee. I think it tells something about that in there. Would be the queen bee, if you can find it on that list someplace.
Well, it's here.
Oh, okay.
Coming over.
Okay. Yeah, I can't quite make it. And the princess, the queen bee and the princess. Queen candidate Teresa Campbell. And in a courtesy car from Thompson's. This is Cream City Supper Club, and what is this on the back? On the back of the float, they have a piece of machinery. Ye Olde Wood Splitter. It's operated by an old gasoline engine, big wide belts, and they have a little device on the back to split wood. That has got to be way back in time, and it's they have a plow behind it. The whole thing can be dragged along. It's Cream City Supper Club up on, well, Cream City is the heart of downtown Cream City. Everybody knows where that's at. On Cream City Road. In the good old summertime. I'm not sure whose this one is right offhand, Dorothy.
It's got to be the
You're gonna look at this sign back here. Historical Society. And they have a big sandbox on the back of their float, and a family, typical family, in dressed in older attire, the old swimming suits. I like her swimming suit, Dorothy. This is Mary Schaefer, Queen candidate. Who's gonna be the Queen, Dorothy?
I wasn't there, and I would have a hard time picking.
You too, huh?
Right, they're all pretty.
Breakfast on the Farm. We're going to be at Breakfast on the Farm this year. Again, that's tomorrow. That's going to be north of Gillett on the Ken and Mary Coles Farm, a mile north of Gillett. And we'll be on the air at about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning or shortly after that for Breakfast on the Farm. They'll be serving anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 people or more. Join us for cheese curds after the parade, it says on the back. In the home of Oscar. Oscar, what is Oscar? The green what? American Bank of Wisconsin, Lena Oconto Sabisky, Soaring and Townsend with an itty-bitty miniature car. We used to drive one of those similar to that. Remember back in Illinois, Dorothy?
Yeah, I only drove it once, Walter.
Only once, right.
Only once, Walter.
Almost, well, I'll leave that go. That was Bob Campbell driving that miniature version of a car. Perry Serwhitey in her car right now coming up. Oconto County Clerk of Courts, candidate for. And they never quite get that candy up this far, do they? It's always, you know, down below, but never quite.
Maybe it's for the littler ones rather than you bigger ones.
Okay. Skiing Patriots. And they have their water show. They're dragging along their boat with all of the pretty Patriots on the back. Saturday, 2 and 6, Sunday at 2. The Skiing Patriots, and they have a show watching. And of course, they have 4 of them coming back on skateboards and in costumes as well, Dorothy. I think I'll follow them. Ah, yes. Are those for swimming? You're not saying anything, Garth. Be sure to see their shows. 2 and 6 o'clock today and Sunday at 2. And at City Docks. And last I heard, it's at City Docks. Okay. A teepee on the back of a float and some Indians. And it's put together by Flowers by Evelyn. 105 Main Street in Oconto. And it's an whole Indian motif, including inside the car, as a matter of fact. And they have Indian papooses and Indian and various flowers all decorated around it. Or is it papoosai? Welcome to Oconto Old Copper Festival. Flowers by Evelyn. And is that Big Bird on the back, Doreen? Doreen, is that Big Bird? She's wagging her head yes in a cloud. Oh, here, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can you say hello? Doesn't say hello. Flowers by Evelyn with 2 floats along the way. This one is a golf cart as well, all decorated. How about that for a decoration for
Right,
flowers?
that's pretty.
I'm not going to describe the flowers in there. I'm not too well at this. And we've got an older car, a Buick, an old. That's got to be the 50s. Oldsmobile.
See, I thought it was an old one.
Oldsmobile, both are Oldsmobiles.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This one here is, what does that say?
That's from
We Injuns powwow
At
Shirley's, of course. And it's another group of Indians, and they got banjo and some music, and they're all sitting around at Shirley's. Is that on there too? How about an old snowplow, Dorothy, from Oshkosh?
That's at the wrong end. If they had the horses, that should have been following.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Oh, my.
That's got to be about as old as Doreen.
1929.
1929.
I think that's older than
I think that's older than me too, right?
So it has to be older than Doreen.
That might even be older than as old as Bernie up here. This is put together by Emmaus Assembly of God. It says, Jesus stands at the door and knocks, Revelation 3:20. Will you let him in? They have a cross, so Jesus is the way, and a group of ferns and that on the back. And of course the flowers, symbol of the Spirit on the back. It's not too late, he says.
This is what I need.
Oh, we could have used one of these. It's a duck. Quiet duck. Carbon Utility Contractors, Oconto. And it's an amphibian. And you might say, what's a duck? It's well, anyway, it's something that will go on land or in water. Look, see those little wheels just come on up and away. We could have used one of those for the flood.
Right.
Yes,
Definitely.
Definitely. Maybe that's why he's got it here, just in case. In olive drab, too, you noticed. We have another band, Dorothy. This is Gary Virch and Company. Where are they from?
Leona.
Leona High School Band.
I thought Suring, but that's where it used to be.
Yeah. And Gary Virch, who used to be here at the junior high school band.
And high school.
And high school, now has the Leona High School Band. Give a listen. Band dressed in black bottoms. They have green tops with a white sash across and a black hat with a white plume. And going on by right now, the Leona High School Band. Custom plowing by Mike LaCourte. That's what it says on the front here. And they're dragging along a large fertilizer or water. I don't know what that tank would be. Behind it, it says there's always a big and a happy hello at Frenchtown Custard Corner, the old A&W.
Oh,
Frenchtown Custard Corner. I saw their sign up just the other day. And they have a flag. There's nobody in it, the flag in the back. It says opening soon on the back, and it's all decorated out in white with a big custard. See the white on the top of the cone there? Okay. Well, there's you are never too young. And they have an older person dressed up in a diaper in a little bitty wagon. Okay, Wayne's Family Restaurant coming up right behind it. Wayne's old car, and dragging along a couple of ladies in wheelchairs, and dressed up as very older people, obviously, getting pulled along the back of the car in their wheelchairs. You are never too old, it says on the back. Isn't that great? That's really kind of neat. I wonder what kind of mileage they got on those wheelchairs. Jodie Bosted. She's got to be a queen candidate too, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also pretty, I don't know. Lynn Mortier, clerk of courts. Jodie Bosted, of course, was a pitcher on that, I'd say championship, in my estimation, girls softball high school team.
Definitely.
Championships all the way. Lynn Mortier, as I mentioned, clerk of courts, coming on by. Behind that, this has got to be a lot of, they're all following the Indian motif, or the Indian decoration as it would be, because of the copper culture, I'm sure. And again, we got a bunch of little Indians on this one. And our teepee is always open. La Fortune Auction and Realty. Okay. Our teepee is always open. New office opening soon. Brazo Avenue in Oconto. Call the pros. Where's that going to be at, Doris? The Fortune. Okay. Something to check on. Here comes Bon Pickle. And Bon Pickle Company. And they're throwing, I thought they were throwing out pickles.
The one year they did.
They did that one year, right.
They did 1 year, yeah.
They have a float that's all yellow, of course, and green with pickles. They never quite get that candy up here.
Look at the dad with the boy up on the shoulder.
Let's be kosher, it says on the back. Bon Pickles. That looks like Nicholas or Whitey behind me. Okay, fight the fight. We have a float now with the Statue of Liberty holding a baby, and it says, help rescue the unborn, liberty and justice for all. And they have a bunch of kids on that float at the same time, and that's sponsored by, you didn't find it, huh? I didn't either. They don't have the numbers on it. That would help. Intercessors for Life,
Okay.
251 Michigan Avenue in Oconto, 834-2330.
Tell
This
John
is
to get
Scott
one to
Paper
Gene.
Company of
He's
Oconto
coming up.
Falls, and they have their big truck with Scott towels on the back. And right behind it, they have a truckload of Scott's products, and they're throwing out paper towels. Now that they can get back up here. Here comes one of the Shriners back in their little outfits again. Let's see if one comes up here, by gosh, from Scott Towels. He's gonna bring one over. There he comes. Hey, thank you. We got our roll of Scott Towels for the year. The Scott Paper Company, Oconto Falls. We could
And you're
use
going to
that.
hang on to that,
You
too,
better
aren't
believe
ya?
it.
Boy, I'm telling you.
When I spill my soda on the ground here, I'll need it to wipe it all up.
You have to pry it out of your little hot hands.
Well, here comes some more of the Shriners back with their little cars.
Oh.
On the back, it's written Formula Micro.
Here we go.
Cruisers Incorporated of Oconto, and they've got one of their boats. I wonder if this is one that Pat Thomas worked on. From WOCO, he works at Cruisers,
How
and they're
did
throwing
Becky?
away candy too. That's a nice boat. Every year I keep hinting
Hey,
that
Becky!
Becky!
See, you're gonna miss you, bye, Walt.
How does she get to ride on that boat, huh? Every year we keep hinting we should get one of those boats, and they just
keep moving it on down the road. They don't understand, Walt.
Right, hi. This is Mirrowcraft, Northport. Quality fishing and pleasure boats. Yeah, that's a little smaller boat with a nice Mercury outboard on the back, built by Mirrowcraft. I'd even take one of those, Dorth. If they had some free samples. Ah, the truck behind it, I'm sure has more boats from what I can see here. Mirrowcraft Northport. And they have a whole lineup of boats on the back. A half a dozen of them, as a matter of fact, of all sizes of boats. Sure, there's enough there for all of us.
Even one for Bernie.
Even one for Bernie at the same time. You wouldn't turn that down either, would you, Bernie?
Not at all.
Not at all. If you're wondering what Bernie Metzler is back there, he's operating a video camera because it's videotaped at the same time. So he's listening in and watching this going on down. Now we're going to, we're done with the boats, so we're going to do a little horsing around. Because this is the Michikene Riders coming along, and with all the various styles of horses, carrying flags to begin with. And little horses and big horses, they're way down the line. Just a reminder that from here, we'll be sending it back to the radio station, and then our mobile unit will go over to Copper Culture Park, and somewhere around 12:30 or so, we'll be on the air from the Copper Culture Park. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to get rid of anything on the air. We'll just move everything back. But we'll bring you a live broadcast from down there, from the Copper Culture Park, and of course, then you're going to find out who the Copper Culture Queen is. And we'll try to bring you as much from going on from down there as we can. Tomorrow, we're going to go to Gillett and broadcast from Breakfast on the Farm and talk to some people down there. Now, if you've ever never had a breakfast on the farm, this is something that maybe you want to take advantage of. And it's just north of Gillett on 32, about a half mile. You can turn left. I've got the instructions in here someplace. There will be signs. You don't have to miss it. Just go north of Gillett on 32, about a half mile or so. Somewhere there's a road near Yancey's restaurant, and turn left on that, go for a half a mile or so, and then turn left again. Just follow the signs. And it's $2 if you pay there, and you couldn't have a better breakfast on the farm.
When I go out to our farm, I want to see you have our horses braided and bows in their hair. And
braided and bows in their hair.
Right. Oh, little baby.
Yeah, little one. They have very pretty horses and well-behaved horses.
That walks very well. That's not a very old one. Look. Oh, the kids get to pet it. Oh.
Yeah, they have. They won't be very long, but because we'll be looking for Mama pretty soon.
Yeah, it's gonna get excited.
Although it's very well, yes, very well behaved. Yeah. It says, "Oh, I like that." If you like horses, the Michikene Riders Association. We have horses too. We just horse around though. Well, right behind it are the kids with the cleanup detail, and we've seen this last year. One bicycle with the little shovel that picks up any doo-doos along the way, and then he just turns it around and drops it into the kid on the bicycle behind him, has a little box. And of course the box is for the doo-doos. What is SEARCH? SEARCH is the Sheriff's Emergency AM Radio Community Helpers. Okay, using Citizen Band, of course, and SEARCH organization has people who, of course, are along the way right now and watching traffic, making sure that traffic doesn't try to invade on the playground route, and just trying to control things in general.
And they helped out during our little bit of flood.
They did that too, for sure, and they did a good job during that time for a lot of hours. Okay, The Falls Restaurant, Oconto Falls. Tacos served on Wednesdays. Look,
that
what is that,
looks
big
good.
salad?
It's a taco, isn't it?
Taco salad?
There's tacos served on.
Or just a taco? Okay. Farmers made me what I am today. Tasty, appeasing, appetizing, crisp, and original. Smile, the camera is rolling. It says local channel 28, Oconto Falls. Deem Video Productions of Oconto Falls. All part of that, huh? Country cooking at country prices. That must be the Falls restaurant. Okay, well, we thought we'd see Deem Video in there, but he's not in there, of course. He's probably down the other end because he tapes this too. And we got a little bit of a hang-up right now.
I think they missed at the horse
Oh,
video.
yeah, well, they had to stop and do a little pickup along the way. Okay. Our cameraman is getting a hold of that one for sure. A little bit of a droppings. Okay, right behind the Falls Restaurant and Deem Video is going to be Woodworth for Sheriff. Sheriff. Hi there. It says elect Woodworth for Sheriff. He's passing out hats, right? No, he's not passing out hats. All right.
Kids are getting out farther and farther into the streets.
Yeah, that's a
They're the
problem.
little ones.
This is Wagner Shell and Food Mart. And the summer rental on it. What do they have all over the signs here? They got, a group of people in a boat behind it. Super people, it says, from Wagner Shell and Food Mart on Highway 41 on the south side. Police, oh, I see, that's all of the movies that they rent out. It's open 24 hours a day. They rent out videotapes and videotape players. Of course, gasoline and Wagner's oil company right behind him, as noticed. And besides food of all varieties. Pizzas, deli, Wagner Oil Company of Antigo, Wisconsin. Shell Products is obviously involved with Wagner's Super Shell. Okay, we've got a float filled with hay bales. You know what hay bales are, Dorothy?
Yeah, I
You
think I've
just
seen
loaded
some.
a few hundred of those yesterday. This is the Shiloh Lounge. And they've got music on the Shiloh Lounge with an old accordionist. Well, just an old accordion. Accordionist isn't that old. Cindy and Earl of Oconto, the Shiloh Lounge. Not the silo, the Shiloh. And he's got a picture of a farm silo on the back. What is this? This guy gets up in the world. On the back of this truck, they have one of those scissor type lifts in which you can get way up and work on things. And it's Yale is the name of the group. And he is way up in the air and throwing candy down to all of the people below it. He'd have to duck underneath the wires for that one. It's the Mighty Lift. This is an old hook and ladder. Ladder Company 123.
Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, is that where they're from? Okay.
I don't know, that's what this hood says.
Carbon Utility
Ah, Roger.
Contractors of Oconto. And he's got to steer that thing from the back, too. That takes practice, doesn't it? 1950 Chrysler Royal. Body and paint by. Okay, owner Stephen Gale Strands. Goodness gracious. Like those old cars, like this Chevy coming up right now. Worcester Barth Motors. Quality used cars, an expert body shop. An old Chevy. The wide white walls and all. Remember how we used to polish those white walls, Dorothy? We had those on our car. You don't remember that, huh?
No, I don't remember that well.
Oh, goodness
That's
gracious.
before my time.
Come on. Okay.
Oh, here's Toby Roth.
Toby Roth, 100 years of getting better. And Toby Roth sitting in front of course, the Statue of Liberty at the same time. See, he was supposed to be up there earlier in the parade, but he didn't make it.
Oh, no, maybe that's where they put him.
Yeah. Stock and Son Construction. We're on a truck from Stock and Son Construction, as a matter of fact. And they've got a couple sawhorses and ladders and things.
Here, watch the
Oconto
dance
Sportsman's Club. Boy, they're moving by fast now. We promote and sponsor hunter education. Access to 1,000 acres of public land. And they got a flag and they've got, well, that's about everything. This is WCJL going by in a truck at the same time. Marinette. Our float is right here. We're busy. Tim's Auto Service. Herb's Oasis. Highway 141 going by. In a truck with things on the back. Boy, they're moving along quickly. Now we got to hold up again. I'm going to give you 3 guesses at who's on this float or who this float is sponsored by.
I have no idea. Wouldn't be start with a W, would it?
It could very possibly be, but I don't know.
I think it is.
You think it's Woody's?
I know it.
Woody's has something like 6 bands this weekend. Woody's okay. I don't know if it is or not. But we're sure going to find out.
Oh, look, the baby out the window.
We might be wrong. There's no signs on the front, so we're just waiting to see what. Yeah, it is. They have a loud horn. Come on, play something, fellas. Yeah. Woody's okay. Or isn't he? There's going to be music. There's going to be music around Woody's okay for the next 24 hours or 48 hours. You can bet on that. Besides the normal street dancing that's going to be going on one end, you can find music on the other end. This whole street's going to be closed off tonight.
I think Elks has to
This is the Elks Lodge. And they've got kids. They've got their baseball team here. The Elks National. Hello there. How are you? Kevin Wilkie, Elks National Scholarship winner. Kathy Couric, U.S. Constitution Contest winner. And Tim Allen, the state champion winner. Trophy winners, the Green Bay Junior Bowling League, the Little League team from the Elks, and the Elks girls softball team, all on the back of that float. Here's Gambles and John Matravers, who is the parade chairman, and he's going to be glad when this is over, too.
I bet.
As is Jerry Finn, who is the chairman of this whole weekend. And I said, is he delivering or is that his float? And he says both. Oconto Business Association parade sponsor,
110
Gambles.
First Street if it's for nothing.
Yeah. We have the fire department coming through, and I think this must be about at the end of the parade. Oconto's #1 fire department and the ambulance right after that. And I believe this is going to wrap up our parade for Oconto County Festival, Oconto Copper Festival, #4.
Right.
Okay, if I got that right. And the weather held out. We didn't have any rain. As a matter of fact, there's patches of sunlight going on at the same time. And from here, we're going to head it out over to the Copper Festival grounds, and hopefully we'll be able to get out there. And somewhere around 12:30 or so, we'll be broadcasting, maybe a little sooner, we'll be broadcasting from the Copper Festival grounds. We'll give you what's happening down there, and then we'll be back for sports commentary and everything else on WOCO AM radio. We're going to find out who's going to be the winners for the floats. That'll be announced there at the same time, as well as the Copper Festival Queen. So stay with us right here on 1260 Radio WOCO. Dorothy, thank you. From downtown Oconto at the Copper Culture Festival in Oconto.
to the 4th annual Old Copper Festival. There's one statement I'd like to say before we start anything, that it never rains for the Old Copper Festival. We certainly appreciate everyone being here and hope you have a wonderful time this weekend. I would first like to introduce Mr. Peter Stark, who's with the Copper Culture Historical Association, to give a little background on the Historical Society and how the Copper Festival itself began, and a few other things for a couple minutes. Mr. Stark?
Thank you, Jerry. With the 4th annual Old Copper Festival, we are commemorating 4,576 years since the copper culture people dwelled in the Oconto area. It was only 34 years ago, though, that the site was rediscovered and archaeologically excavated. It was initially excavated by Reuben Lefebvre and Richard Hall of the Oconto County, Jim Hall, of the Oconto County Historical Society, and also by Robert Ritzenthaler and Warren Whittree of the Milwaukee County Museum. It is only one of 4 such burial sites belonging to the copper culture in Wisconsin that is known to exist. And it is, by its carbon date, the oldest of the 4 burial sites. A lot of scientific information was obtained from the examination of these burials. So there is a lot of value to archaeology in Wisconsin, and it does contribute to our knowledge of prehistory. Its importance was recognized in 1962 when the federal government granted National Historic Landmark status to the Oconto site. By 1975, through the work of local individuals and with the help of the state of Wisconsin, a state park was created forming the present state park boundaries. A museum was formed in 1982 by the Copper Culture Historical Association, focusing on the old copper culture and other aspects of area prehistory. Today, management of the park is a joint effort of the state of Wisconsin, the city of Oconto, and the Copper Culture Historical Association. As part of our association efforts to continually improve and add to the significance of the park, I have the pleasure to announce today the formation of a West Green Bay Shore Archaeological Research Center here at the museum. This facility will allow archaeologists, researchers, students, and other examiners of area prehistory to view artifacts and other facts of area prehistory firsthand. So we're very happy to have this facility here at the park, and it will help greatly in bringing recognition both to the park and to the Oconto community. So now I guess I'll turn you back to our MC.
Thank you, Pete. We appreciate your time and that information. And now, would you please welcome Mr. Glenn Garvey, the mayor of the city of Oconto. Glenn?
Thanks much, Jerry. And on behalf of the City Council and myself, I'd like to welcome all of you out to the Copper Culture Park. And I especially would like to thank our chairman, Jerry Finn, and his co-chairman, Kurt Campbell, for the terrific job they've done. And Jerry's got a lot of other people he wants to thank later, but I like to thank Mr. Enthusiasm. Jerry is one of the spark plugs of this thing that's kept it going for 4 years. And I know this morning at 5 o'clock he was up and he had me out of bed at 6 o'clock coming out here and setting up this stage. So without Jerry, I'm sure we wouldn't be where we're at today. I'd like to at this time introduce Parade Marshal Tom Mahoney. He's familiar to many of you people who are associated with the school system. Tom was a former earth science teacher at Washington Junior High. Right now he's a weatherman with Channel 5 TV, and I understand he just got back from a seminar on giving excuses when your weather predictions don't work. Tom?
Thank you. And as I said along the parade route to many of you, it's good to be back in Oconto. It's been a number of years. I think a lot of people were asking, gee, how long has it been since you have been here? Well, I'll put it to you this way. When I was teaching school at Washington Junior High, my 13-year-old daughter, who is not, well, now 13, was born. So that was 13 years ago, and we moved away 2 months after my 12-year-old son was born. So it was 12 to 13 years ago, to answer you. I was a little bit worried at coming out here to the park because being at the head of the parade is such a big honor for me. And we waited out here at the park and waited, and then the kids got kind of antsy because they were in the van with me. So we decided to run up to one of the local restaurants and get them something to drink. And as I was coming out of there, it started sprinkling, and I seriously debated whether or not I should continue driving to Green Bay or come out to the park. But while sitting up here on the dais, I see the sun is trying to come out. Hopefully it's going to be a good day. I'll try to predict good weather for the festival today and tomorrow, and we'll just see what happens. Thank you for having me as your parade marshal. It certainly has been a great honor for me. Thank you.
Thanks much, Tom. As you know, Oconto is pretty heavily into outdoor recreation, and we appreciate the fact that the state continues to own this park and make it available to the citizens of the entire state of Wisconsin. The city is also paid by the state to maintain the park, so it helps our park budget. Besides the Copper Culture Park, we also have a breakwater park with state funds. That was a $55,000 grant from the state. They had the state also cost shared on a couple of boat landings at Holtwood Park and out at the city docks. We've also had 2 bridges built within the past year. Most of the funding came from the state, and the city for economic growth received a $1.3 million community development block grant. So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce some people that probably have a lot to do with this funding, whether it's on the federal level through the HUD program and down through the DOD or some of the other programs that are administered by the state. So first of all, I'd like to introduce a former resident, a person who was born and raised in the city of Oconto and is now in Madison. He's the state treasurer, Charlie Smith. Charlie, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Mayor, for that warm introduction. That was unlike one I received a few months ago in Oconomowoc when the Master of Ceremonies said in a burst of enthusiasm, "Here is the latest dope from Madison." No, I don't know if that was premeditated or spontaneous, and I'm not sure that I want to. But I'm just delighted to be back in my hometown. I spent the first 14 years of my life here, and many times trekked through this country and this park, not even knowing the historic significance of it. Many times I went out to Susie's Hill and skied and dove off the rapids there and fished there. And I'm just delighted to have the opportunity to come back here today and participate in this ceremony and the festivities. I even saw a few old friends in the parade and had a chance to wave to them. And I hope I have a chance to see a few more before I leave. But I wish you well this whole weekend. I know the weather's going to hold out. And I hope everybody just has a grand time. And thank you for having me. Good to see you all.
Thanks much, Charlie. We have some people out here that are good friends of the Oconto area. I see Congressman Toby Roth and Representative Dick Matty. Would you like to come over, you fellas, and have a few words? Or what a question in an election year.
Well, thank you, Mayor. In just a few words, I just want to say how great it is to be here in Oconto today. What a terrific parade. I couldn't believe how long the parade was, the beautiful floats and tremendous enthusiasm. And we're starting 2 days of celebration here, and I think it's going to be 2 excellent days. And Mayor, I want to say thank you for inviting myself and my family and our friends up here. It's always a great pleasure to come up here and to be here and to spend some time with you in the parade and doing other festivities. And I had a chance to, in the parade, be on a float with Statue of Liberty. And you know the Statue of Liberty this year is the big centennial, and the statue is made out of a great deal of copper. And it's an all-American statue. And I couldn't help but think as I was watching the parade going by, we have a lineup of all-American girls here today, too. And what a pleasure it is to be with them. As I've often said, the prettiest girls come from Oconto. Thanks a lot.
afternoon. It's my pleasure also to be here. It's certainly complimentary to all of you folks who are involved to retain the historic value of this place. And Glenn mentioned that, yes, we are involved in some way, shape, or form sometimes to see that funds do come down. But it reminds me of a little story. Ran into a young man who needed some money, and he went to his mother and he said, "Mother, I need $100 bad, you know." And Mother said, "Well, I don't have the $100. She said, "But if you pray to God, I'm sure you'll get your money." So he did. And he prayed like crazy for a couple of weeks and nothing happened. So he thought, "I'll take care of this. I'll go right to the old man himself." He sat down and he wrote him a letter. "Dear God, I need $100 bad. Please send it immediately." Letter went to the post office. The guys at the post office said, "Well, I don't know how to handle this one. Why don't we send it to Reagan? Let him take care of it." So they sent it off to Washington, and Ronnie got the letter and opened it up, and he said, "Gee, you know, I'm really impressed with the little guy. Why don't we send him a check? But make it for $5. I mean, after all, the little guy, you know, $5 should handle it." So sure enough, the $5 came to the kid. He opens her up, letter from Washington, the White House. Gee, he was grateful, but, you know, it was only $5, so he thought, well, he better thank God anyway. So he sat down, wrote a letter. "Dear God, I want to thank you for the money I received today." But he said, "I noticed you sent it through Washington. And them dirty jerks deducted $95 of it." And I'm sorry to say, sometimes that's what happens to some of our programs. But we do keep trying, and it all comes from folks like you who pay taxes. And it's indeed a pleasure to be able to be here today, and I hope you have a great 2 days and the weather cooperates. Thanks much.
Thanks much, Toby and Dick. We appreciate your coming. You have helped make our weekend for us. There were several other people that were in the parade. One of them is Representative Jervis Hefner from Chilton. He's going to be a Democratic candidate for the Lieutenant Governor, and I don't see him here. If he's here at this time, I guess not. State Senator Jerome Van Sistine also was one of the people that walked the length of the parade, and I think he had to go on to another location, so I'm afraid we're not going to be able to meet him. We have another representative from Shawano County whose territory covers the 4th District, which involves several townships in Oconto and Shawano County. And I'm talking of Kathy Zeiske. She's a candidate for re-election in 1986. She's been elected to the Assembly both in 82 and 84. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Kathy Zeiske.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It is indeed a pleasure to be here, if not for the reason of being a state representative and having the opportunity to come out to copper culture. The second reason, I was recently appointed to a state task force that's looking at historic preservation. And of course, this is one of the sites that's high on our list because it plays such an important significance for the state of Wisconsin, and we certainly are proud of it from that aspect. But as we gather today, for this entire weekend, for the many events that have been scheduled, I can't help but reflect on the community participation and the involvement which these many events represent. As much as the ancient culture we commemorate with this festival, also the spirit of community pride and participation is an important part of Wisconsin's heritage. This spirit that we see today is also seen across the state in many events going on over the summer. But it is this spirit of community involvement which we look to today, and I think we should especially celebrate along with the whole significance of the copper culture. You should be especially proud of this festival because of the efforts you have put forth, not only to make this event a success, but because of your foresight and your tenacity in having this site designated as a state park and maintaining and ensuring that those efforts are going to be ongoing, and this site will remain a very important, significant state park and with historic importance for the rest of the state, so we can preserve this portion of Wisconsin's history for the many future generations that will gather here today to celebrate the Copper Festival and also to learn about the ancient copper culture history. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Kathy. And I would just like to mention that we had one more person seeking office. It was Paul Willems in the parade, but evidently he couldn't make it out to the park. So I'd like to thank all of our honored guests at this time for coming to the Copper Festival, and I hope they are able to stick around and have a good time. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to take a few minutes to thank the people on the committees that helped to make the Copper Festival possible. First of all, Mayor Garvey, who does a lot of work behind the scenes that not too many people know about, a lot of phone calls, a lot of physical work. Greg Lamb from the courthouse, John Matravers for the parade, Lorraine Garvey and Carol Finn for the Queen Committee, Shirley Dodds, Karen Bostwick, and Pat Judge, who were the judges, which was a very difficult job. Bill Borneman at the reporter for the coverage he's given us, all the Kaczynskis at the radio station, and also a thanks to the radio station for these very speakers that we speak over right now. I had to say that to ensure my job, see. And a thanks to Bill Pescick and Mike Baker out there who have also given us good coverage. Thanks to the high school for this stage that we are standing on, for everyone who has sold buttons, buttons and T-shirts, and also to those who have purchased them. We appreciate that. There will be a $50 savings bond presented to the Queen that is given to us by the American Bank of Wisconsin here in Oconto. The Queen will also receive the crown is donated by the 14 Karat Shop. A $20 gift certificate is donated from Ladies' Choice for the first runner-up, and also there is a bouquet of a dozen roses that has been donated by Glenn's Place of Oconto, and we appreciate everyone who has participated in that in every way. And now I'd like to introduce the candidates to the time that we have all been waiting for. The girls will stand as I introduce them, and then they'll be seated for the coronation. The first one, would you please welcome Lisa Longside. And Lori Sullivan. Teresa Campbell. Mary Schaefer. And Jody Bostad. Now this next part of this is new. There will be a first runner-up for the first time for the Old Copper Festival. And I have her name someplace here. Right here in this envelope. The first runner-up will receive a sash and the $20 gift certificate from Ladies' Choice. Oh, by the way, please allow me to announce or introduce Laura Brabant. She is the reigning queen up until right now from last year. Laura, stand up. And she's done a very good job, I might add. Laura will be presenting the first runner-up with her awards and also the queen with hers. And we appreciate her time and help. This is the first runner-up for the Copper Festival of Oconto, Wisconsin, is Lori Sullivan. Congratulations, Lori. Thank you, girls. Now, this year's Copper Queen, as last year, was chosen for her positive attitude towards Oconto, her manners, and poise and appearance. And as you know, all of the girls up here are qualified to be queen. The judges told us that that was one of the most difficult jobs that they had, was to determine who the queen should be because they were all so close. In fact, they didn't tell me who the queen is. I don't know. But I asked one of them the other day. I thought I could pry it out of her, and I kind of got her talking, and I asked real fast. I said, by the way, who did you choose for queen this year? She says, I wouldn't tell you for $1,000. That's good. I really didn't want to know. So now we come to the time that we've all waited for. The Queen will, as I say, will receive a bond from the bank, those dozen roses, and a crown. The Copper Festival Queen for 1986 is Teresa Campbell. Congratulations, Teresa. You have that now. You come here. Stay up here. You got the T-shirt. I just like to congratulate all the Queen, the runner-up, and all the girls who ran. Laura's the girls. The other three contestants will get a T-shirt from the Copper Festival, and believe me, we appreciate all your participation and all your time. It's been a real pleasure. Now, the first duty for Teresa will be to make a presentation on behalf of the Old Copper Festival Steering Committee to the Copper Culture Historical Association, and Teresa will make that presentation at this time to Peter Stark.
The 1986 Old Copper Festival has proven that the people of Oconto can unite in the spirit of cooperation without fear of competition and put forth something that everyone can take great pride in. Oconto has so much to offer, and the Old Copper Festival not only teaches visitors about Oconto, but it also awakens our awareness of all the good things Oconto has. As you know, the name Old Copper has given to our festival because of the historical uniqueness of the Copper Culture State Park. It is therefore befitting that the Old Copper Festival Steering Committee donate to the Copper Culture Historical Association to help cover the costs of maintaining our state park. With this in mind, I take great pleasure in presenting you this check for $100.
Thank you, Teresa.
Congratulations to you, Teresa, for your beautiful job. I'd like to thank the Copper Festival Steering Committee for this generous donation, but especially I'd like to thank all of you for participating in the festival. It's because of you that this is possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete, and thank you to everyone for showing up. I would like to read the winners in the parade. The best band was number 1 Oconto, first place. Yes, that's right. Oconto, number 1. Yeah, all right. The second was Leona. For the best commercial float was Flowers by Evelyn, who had a beautiful float. And the second place was Cream City Bar. For the best float, for the civic best float, was a tie for the Shriners and the Skiing Patriots. For the best original idea was Wagner Shell Service Station, was number 1, and the Elks Club was second. For miscellaneous, there was a tie between intercessors of faith and both Catholic churches in Oconto, St. Pete's and St. Joe's. And we give our congratulations to all of those folks who entered in the parade, and we appreciate your time and participation. There's one thing I'd like to say before everyone leaves. I don't know how many people saw it, but we got national coverage this year on, I don't know, it was ABC or NBC, I can't remember, but we got national coverage on that. We have advertising and recognition in London, England, and we also have people here from as far away as Boston for the Old Copper Festival. And we appreciate that, and all of you to come here, and thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Good day. Thank you, girls.
Good job.